All right, so we have the upcoming BABONNEAU against SOUFRIERE. Let's get the information. Who's the lucky captain? Let's get the toss.
We're about to watch the toss for match number 10. SOUFRIERE versus BABONNEAU. BABONNEAU will spin the coin. Call loud. Heads. Heads call. Heads call. SOUFRIERE bowling first. SOUFRIERE won the toss and bowling.
I mean, we've been in good form, restricting teams into what total we want, and our batters have been pretty consistent with chasing down runs in here for us. So that's why we're going with the decision today.
You've won a few times. Are you going with the winning combination, or are you going to experiment with your team?
Unfortunately, one of our players is out injured, Wayne Prosper, so we're going to have a new player in for him.
What's going to be your strengths today?
I mean, pretty much we're looking to do an all-round performance, play with ball, bat, and just continue what we've been playing through our last 3 games here and carry on with the momentum.
What's the key thing you're hoping to avoid based on your experience so far?
I mean, the key thing for us is to have less extras, wides and no balls. Try to keep it as clean and tight as possible.
Good luck. Thank you. BABONNEAU,
Hi.
welcome to the party.
Oh yes, it's good to be here.
I guess you've monitored the matches and so on, and you've seen what has been happening. What is the approach now?
Yeah, we've seen the game. We would have liked to bowl first as well, but I have confidence in my team, and no matter what they put us out to do, we would be able to do it to the best of our ability.
What will be your instructions to your batsmen?
Well, just go out there, limit the dot balls and try to get as many runs as possible. It's a big ground. The square boundaries look huge enough to get 2s and 3s, so that would be the aim, and the odd boundary and the odd 6 will come.
You have a target in mind?
Well, yes, if we can reduce, if we could score at least 100 runs, anything over 100, I believe it would be a competitive total.
Just describe to us the composition of the team. You have batting strength or bowling strength, which or combination?
Well, our team is an all-round team. I believe besides the keeper, everyone can bowl, so that's a plus for us. So it's an all-round team, and we will just back our strengths today to do everything to the best of our ability.
Are there any nerves? This is your first time in this competition this year?
Well, no nerves. The nerves, I believe we left it last year, so we're expected to put in a better performance this year, and it should reflect when we go out there today.
Finally, briefly tell us about your team, the Leatherbacks. Sorry, the name that you chose.
Well, I don't have the history of the name, the Leatherbacks. However, I believe it's a good name, being that we have the Turtles down in Debarra and Granans. Right, so it fits the team, and we will show them what the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks can do this year.
And the BABONNEAU lineup?
Yeah, you have Zaire Antoine, Stuart Caldron, Alvin Lafayette, Nehemiah Wilfred, Caleb Thomas, Naeem Roseman, Quinn Henry, Alex Joseph, Siobhan Joseph, Stephen Abraham, and Jovan Charles.
We look to the side. I was lucky with the toss, SOUFRIERE.
Yes,
And they've had some matches under their belt too.
Yes, well, word has just gotten to us that Wayne Prosper is out, as you heard the captain said. That's the opening bowler. So yeah, we have Ashley Hippolyte, Bradley Tisson, Cyrus Emmanuel, Julian Sylvester, who's the second leading run scorer, Covell Prosper, Kevin Gassi, Tennessee Hippolyte, the wicketkeeper, Jovan Charles, Dalius Monrose, Kiefer Prosper, and of course the captain Shanai Mesmin.
Because the fielding side is now being joined by the openers. So SOUFRIERE, very confident. The captain spoke confidently at the toss, but I suppose he was regretting the injury to Wayne Prosper. What sort of effect you think that that will have?
Well, it's a big loss for the SOUFRIERE Sulphur City Stars.
So Mesmin from the commentary box then, first delivery, right on target, and a defensive shot there by Thomas. Thomas and Abraham opening. Any history on the two players?
Well, Caleb Thomas, he did play last year. He captained the team last year.
So, Thomas settles once more. Mesmin is on his way. Good aggressive approach down the leg side and call wide, as you would imagine. So spraying it about after a good first up delivery. One without loss. As he walks back to his mark very aggressively. But a very confident captain based on how they performed in the qualifiers. As he comes in once more to Thomas, and Thomas is in fact almost bowled off stump. Seemed to also kept a little low. It was pitched up and kept surprisingly very low.
Yes, right from yesterday, there were about 2 deliveries that kept low a bit compared to the wicket that was played for the qualifiers. We did not see any of this happening. There was a fair bit of bounce and carry.
Pretty lively. This delivery is hit over the top, and men are basically inside the circle except for 2, and they go down towards the backward point area. So 3 runs on the board. It wasn't in the middle of the bat at all. It was the outer part of the bat that he drove it in, but it cleared the inner ring. And Thomas back for his second. Mesmin anxious to come in, is stopped by the umpire because the batsman wasn't quite ready. All was well as again, this time not looking to drive, looking to hit it hard off the back foot. And the fieldsman, I thought, had gotten close enough to put it back, but himself and the ball ended up over the boundary. This is a delivery which is really slashed away. Wasn't a great shot. This is the effort by the fieldsman. He didn't quite get there. I'll pull my question mark to him. But in the meantime, it's gone for 7 without loss. So runs on the board is runs on the board. 7 without loss. Thomas has got 6. Strikes me as being a very aggressive batsman, Thomas. Looks to drive no ball. So Mesmin has joined the party. And no ball call for obviously overstepping. So Mesmin have to deal with a free hit. But the batsman strike me as being ultra aggressive. He's looking to play shots so far.
Yes, he seems to have a particular role, right?
Yeah, he's the pinch hitter and hits that well and hits that hard. And did it clear the line? No, it dropped inside. He had the wind. I think the umpires are in fact just checking. 4 more runs. Race up to a 12 without loss. And that was hit with the right leg taking the weight of the body, hitting it quite cleanly. But even with the wind, it didn't cross the line. So 12 without loss. Thomas is 10. Will start by him as bowls. Turns away out towards mid-wicket. They take 1. There will only be 1. As the ball is picked up on mid-wicket. 1 more to the total. 13 without loss at the end of the first over. So let's start from them. They can strike consistently somewhere around there. They will end up, Greg, with a pretty good-looking total.
Yes, rate like this, Reds, I would get them well over 100 runs. But Reds again, Captain Shanai Mesmin has not started the inning the sort of way he would have wanted. Taking up the responsibility to bowl the first over, conceding some 14 runs, he cannot be pleased with his effort.
Yes, well, we mentioned that he's had, good performances But some days not good with the ball, but better with the bat, and then it's the reverse of that. So 13 without loss, second over about to start, and it's going to come as you would imagine from the far end. Gotten a little cooler, we just lost the sun for a while. This delivery, first delivery, and that's outside the off stump, and it's a wide and goes right past the keeper. Got nothing. Seemed to start it a little late, and that will rush the total up to 18 without loss. 18 without loss, and we haven't had more than 6 deliveries bowled.
Yes, the indisciplined bowling continues. Different team, but Reds seems to be a disease in the tournament so far.
The Sun really should focus on bowling from stump to stump. The delivery right on target. He plays defensively as he comes forward, and the ball goes towards a backward point. So getting it wrong and then getting it right. The total 18 without loss. 18 with a loss. Sun already conceding 5. Moves in once more to this delivery. He swings at that. A swing and a miss. True to the keeper, who takes it cleanly. I'm happy to report. And the total 18 without loss, but I think his role, Thomas, is to be the pinch hitter.
Yes, it appears to be that he is the one who is playing the more aggressive shots out in the two.
I mean, probably acting on the instructions, or that is his natural game. There's no slip for T10. 2 men are out, of course, as you imagine. And he gets a dot ball into the scoring apparatus of Roland Cox, and that was pitched up. And all of a sudden, we saw a different character because he played a good, solid defensive shot, ball in the line of the off stump. 18 without loss. This is 3 balls delivered, slow delivery, and that's picked up and picked up well. Well, if he was trying to bowl a change of ball, he certainly was able to pick it up very early and hit it high over long on towards the enclosure of the batting side, and that will send the total even further up. So it's been a fairly productive batting performance so far. 17 Thomas, none for 24. That's outside the off stump and wide call. So more problems in terms of total lack of control.
Yes, T10 really struggling in this over. We've seen this is the second wide he's bowling in the over. The first one went for 4.
Well, he's normally a lot more consistent in my memory. That's down the leg side, and yet we have another wide. And this certainly will extend the playing time as we had in the first game. We had so many wides and no balls that we almost ran late for the second game.
Yes, Reds, we just in a 10 legal delivery ball, and we already have 9 extras.
The sun balls, well, shall I tell you the bad news? It's down the leg side once more. And it actually makes commentating a little repetitive. Goes back to his mark, 27 without loss. He just had 4 genuine deliveries, the sun balls, and that's taken off the hip, turned out towards the forward squaring position. They scamper a single. 28 already in the board. We were saying that if they can maintain this, and they're maintaining what they had in off the first over, they will be well past 100. But we can see a good start doesn't mean that it'll be maintained. They can lose their way in the middle overs. The song goes in, and Abram doesn't get it away.
Hi, I'm Tedison John of the Tedison John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
So far.
Joseph himself done covered number 3. So he will be no doubt committed to what was laid before him. 28 without loss. Thomas in strike on 18. As we have Emmanuel. Emmanuel's going to bowl spin from the commentary box end. And I would think off spin will be the order of the afternoon. And that's driven to the left of mid-off. The non-strike is quite keen to look for a single, but Thomas' side is not going to respond. Thomas remains an 18. So, first delivery, a dot ball. Mesmin deciding to come himself, the captain, to mid-off and sends who is at mid-off down towards the cover, and that's hit over the head of Mesmin as he picks it up and sends it back to the bowler, goes past, backed up by the keeper. So Thomas, 18, total moves to 30 without loss. Didn't quite hit it all at Clady.
No rest, but it was a good shot. Safe enough once it went over the head of the captain.
It's a delivery which this goes to not long on, but this time, not long off, but this time to long on. And they could walk that signal. Signal that takes him to 21, and it's none for 31. None for 31, this is the middle of the third over. Off spinner moving once more outside the off stump and looked to flash at it, didn't maybe move the back leg too much to get across in line. So it's a dot ball. That's Emmanuel. Goes again outside the line of the off stump. He'll be happy that there's no runs which have come off of him. Emmanuel, a good wide up. And again, beaten outside the off stump. And this seems to be very strong playing outside the off stump coming forward. So, 31 without loss. Not a bad over from Emmanuel, only 3 runs coming, and it's none for 31.
Yes, good over there by Emmanuel. Not the sort of indiscipline that we saw in the 2 previous overs, just conceding 3 runs, and the captain would be pleased about that, and I'm certain he would be inclined to perhaps introduce spin at the other end.
Well, as Greg said, it will be spin. Leg breaks, possibly.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see from the action. So, Prosper. No slip for the leg break bowler. There is a white third man, a backward point, short cover, a short extra cover, long off. And that's outside the off stump, spinning further away, and causes the umpire to signal a wide. Mid on, square leg back in the boundary, short fine leg just inside the circle. Prosper goes in, and that's a height away, very, very short. That could have cost him a lot more runs had that been put away, because he had a day and a half to pick his spot. and he picked the spot of the man at square leg. So missed opportunity there, going and begging to Thomas, who was 22. It's none for 33. And Prosper goes in, leg break outside the off stump, flashed away. But stayed inside the required area, no white signal. Prosper once more, goes in, and that's hit down towards mid-on and caught. In fact, well, to my amazement, I thought he had taken it. And the replay will tell us all. Well, certainly I was surprised to see that. The bowler was very pleased, and that was almost a brief moment, thought that might be going down the mid-off throat, but it eventually goes over the mid-off and down to the boundary for 4. So 26 now to Thomas, who's having a very enjoyable time.
Yes, right. Thomas enjoying just a bit of loose bowling there by Prosper, just hitting this one over the header of the mid-off. The captain made me for 4.
Prosper hasn't had a great deal of control, and that's hit down to was mid-off, and on this occasion he doesn't in fact have me describing caught, because there was just a little bit of a fluffle, but eventually the aggressive Thomas going for 26, and the total is 38 for 1. Mesbin looks happy, but maybe.
Have you ever wondered how money can work for you? At Fix, we offer several investment options that can do just that. One option is the fixed deposit, which is a short-term investment where funds are deposited for a minimum of 1 year at an attractive rate, better than anywhere else. The fixed deposit is unique and tailored for both individuals and institutional investors, and gives you the option to reinvest for another period after maturity. For more information, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740, or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
Greg just mentioned, and he is joined by Javon Joseph,
The captain.
so 38 for 1. Let's see if he will produce a captain's knock. It was a short, mistimes it very badly, and it ends it up at square leg. So first ball up to him, had a good scoring opportunity, missed it the end of the 4th over. And after 4 overs, 38 for 1. 4 overs, 38 for 1. Got to be quite happy with the scoring.
Yes, they are happy with the scoring. At Reds, the last 2 overs, the spinners have sort of pulled things back a bit. The 3rd over, they considered 3 runs, and the 4th over, 7 runs, but most importantly, picking up the wicket of the main scorer, Khalid Thomas.
So Joseph and his partner now together, Abraham, well, they continue the good striking rate. Has been trying to direct his troops, and he feels that he should be at mid-off. Most captains like to be at mid-off, Greg.
Yes, you want a chance to speak to your bowler. At least you know what he wants to bowl, his ideas, and you could set the field perhaps accordingly.
So Charles is going to come into the attack, bowling from the commentary box end, and will be bowling to Abram. Abram is 1. The main scorer has departed after being given instructions to really attack the bowling of Soufriere, and he did. But we have a slight hold up in the play. Did they change the ball? No, they didn't. So, Son greeting Charles as he's halfway through his action. Balls, and that's hit hard towards cover. Full toss, could have really pulled that away. Charles will have to try and pull back his length. Total is 1 for 38. Abraham 1. Right-hander. Settles. Charles once more. One slow medium. Trying to play off the back foot. Did, in fact, hit it hard into the turf. Got a little bit of lift there. And he couldn't be very far away from an outside edge. So, encouragement there for the bowler. If you like it, do it twice. Can you repeat? 38 for 1. We're in the middle. Two deliveries gone in the 5th over. And that's a flashing shot in the air, but the sweeper will pick it up. Ball pitched up. Didn't pull it back this time, pitched it up. It bisected the squarish cover and the cover. But there was a sweep on the boundary, so just 1. 1 for 39. Hasn't conceded too many runs in this over. Mesmin from mid-off, dropping back to mid-on. There's a long on. This delivery is giving the keeper trouble. Why? Because it's wide of the leg stump. And maybe he didn't move the feet at all. So 1 to the total. It moves up to 41.
Yes, extras contributing a healthy 13 runs so far, Reds. So again, see another team conceding quite a few extras.
So Charles only had 3 deliveries in this over. And that's a swing and a miss. Getting onto the front foot, aiming to go across the line. And making no contact to the delight of the bowler, because he knows that wasn't a great delivery. Run rate just on the 9. Charles was in and looking to play off the back foot. And he gets a dot ball outside the off stump through to the keeper. 41 for 1. We're getting up to the end of the 5th over. We've got to pick up the scoring. This has been a pretty good over from the Soufriere point of view. Only 3 runs scored. And he bowls once more, and that's nicely tucked away. This will be more runs for. Lovely shot outside the leg stump, and coming forward and just flicking it away. So flurry of runs towards the end. 41 for 1. Abram and Joseph at the wicket. Now more from Greg, and then it will be a change of commentator.
Yes,
Clive Jules will come in.
Yes, good end to the over there by Abraham. Getting a full toss just about on the leg stump and just whipping this one all along the ground for the vacant mid-wicket boundary for 4. But they would be sort of pleased with the sort of start they've had, some 45 runs for loss of 1 wicket. Certainly the sort of platform they have, Clive, to launch for the last 5 overs.
That is absolutely correct. And Stephen Abraham just caressing this one towards the mid-wicket region and collecting 4 runs on that last ball, all the feet over. And it's Prosper to continue and well up to Joseph, who's genuflecting, looking to slog. Sweep this one in the onside, but not making any contact. The dot ball bowled. And this one is heading towards the leg side, and they come through. Was there any bat on this one? No, there wasn't. It came off the pads and down toward fine leg, where Kevin Gassi comes off the ring, the circle, and just limiting them to 1 extra. Prosper, 2 good deliveries on target so far. This time it's in the air towards mid-wicket. Mid-wicket comes off the boundary and restricting the batsman to 1. With the departure of Caleb Thomas, a little bit of a slowing down in the scoring regularly.
Yes, very slow indeed by Abraham in particular. 7 of 14 deliveries.
And it's Joseph facing up to Prosper, wrapped on the pad. There's an appeal and aborted in the end. The umpire was not interested. And this one wrapped on the pads. Joseph looking for the big heave over cow corner, not making any contact. Prosper into Joseph again, and this time Joseph is going square behind square. He's going to challenge the boundary. The mid-wicket fielder, deep mid-wicket fielder comes around and takes it just behind square, back into the wicket keeper, and they come through. The score is a 49 for 1 as Prosper, Covell Prosper, is at the top of his mark, and this time he's bowling to Joseph. Joseph is driving in the air, back past the bowler, and the fielder comes around. That's a Mesmin coming around from the long off a position and coming around and restricting them to just a single, is it?
I have always lived along the coast of Labrie, and I could vividly recall as a little girl seeing the turtles making their way to the ocean. But my mother always reminded me that we need to protect our turtles. And as a teacher today, I try as much as possible to educate my students about the importance of protecting our natural resources, most especially our turtles. That's my library.
Manageable total to chase.
That is absolutely correct, and it will be Charles to continue on the back of a very good over, and this time it's out towards long one, and T10 is in the way, but he can't collect. It looks like this one would have landed just inside the boundary. It went over right through the hands of T10 and over the boundary. That was a very catchable height. T10 had a short distance to cover, but he couldn't cover it, and making a mess of this one.
Yes, he covered a fair bit of ground, but he should have held on to this one, if not at least parried back into play.
Charles again, and he's given the charge is Charles. This one might have come off the bottom edge and through to Tennessee. He cannot stop the single. The score moves on by 1 to 57. Joseph has moved to 10 from 8 balls, and Stephen Natram on 7 from 13. Pretty slow. Stephen Abraham is on strike now. I'm confusing the Stevens now. Too many Stevens. And Charles into Stephen and wraps on the pad. Really loud. There was an appeal. What an appeal. This one peels up into the offside, and they come through for 1 leg by Abraham. Still not making contact on this occasion, having some difficulty getting the ball away, Greg.
Yes, Abraham really has not gotten the ball away. 7 of 14 deliveries.
Charles moves into Joseph, and Joseph is driving out towards long on, and Captain Mesmin coming from long off and intercepting just before T10, who was at a wideish long one, and they come through, and for 2, Joseph moves on to 12 from 9 deliveries. Joseph really looking to get a move on and give the charge to BABONNEAU, led the backs. Charles moves into Joseph again. Joseph giving him the charge and not making clean contact, and there's a chance of a run out, but the fielder is making a meal of it. They look for the second, but Joseph had overrun the crease and he could not come back for the second. There was a chance of a second. The score moves to 61 Redwoods.
Yes, Siobhan Joseph had certainly overrun the crease, but there was not a chance of coming back for a second. But he's certainly looking to get a move on. He has played some good aggressive shots on getting a 6 in the process.
And again, he's giving Charles the charges in the air. A fielder under it, and he takes it comfortably. Comfortable take by the fielder. Joseph was looking to give the charge. Is it Joseph
Emmanuel
or Abraham?
Emmanuel out. Abraham out. Emmanuel caught Emmanuel.
Abraham giving the charge to Charles on the final delivery of the over, and it's Emmanuel. And Emmanuel, the name, the spelling and the pronunciation, there's a bit of a mystery about that name. I was told it's Extus Emmanuel. Extus Emmanuel, but the spelling would fool you if you don't know. So, Extus Emmanuel taking the catch, and the score 61 for 2. 61 for 2.
Yes,
end of the over.
Yes, BABONNEAU losing their second wicket, but it might very well be a blessing in disguise for them, because Abraham had only scored 7 runs of some 15 deliveries, certainly soaking up too many balls. Some 11 dot balls they had already soaked up out of the 15 that he faced. So it may very well be a blessing in disguise for them, him getting out.
Dot ball, and that ball out, driven into the offside through the cover region, and he comes through for the second. The new batter is Antoine, Zai Antoine, joining Joseph, and he's off the mark immediately, pushing into the cover region and getting 2 runs. Again, this one is outside off stump. Antoine looking to play into the offside again, giving himself some room on this occasion, not making any contact, and that ball goes through to the keeper. And it's Emmanuel, and a butted appeal. Emmanuel is very quickly back up to his mark. He's putting some pressure on the batter, not giving any time to the batter, Emmanuel, this time, and he's picked up. There's a fielder on that. Will he? No. It's well beyond him. He's only a spectator on this occasion, as young Antoine picks this one up and depositing it over the long on fielder. He can only be a spectator on this occasion, Greg Woods.
Good shot by young Antoine.
It's Emmanuel again into Antoine, and this one is well up to him. Antoine hitting this one again in the same direction towards the fielder on the boundary at a long on, and he comes off the rope some 10-15 yards and restricting Antoine to 1. Antoine coming in, and he's moved very quickly to 9 from 5 deliveries. The score has moved also to 70. Well up to him, and does he have the... Yes, he does. He can get it back past the ball over his head, and Joseph is getting a move on now. The score has moved to 76 for 2. The Joseph has moved also to 19 to Joseph from 11 deliveries. They were giving the chance.
Get more with our Massy card. One card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massy stores and Massy card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massy stores or www.massycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massy card can bring.
Captain Chauvin finishing the over with a 6. So certainly Zai Antoine would want to continue from where he left off last year. The final game for BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, he had a half century. Well played, a good aggressive half century at that.
Zai Antoine, he has the capabilities, and we know he's been there last year. He had some notable performances last year. Big things are expected of him this time around. But Captain Mesmin will have other ideas. 76 for 2, some 12 deliveries to go in the innings. Mesmin moves in to Antoine, and Antoine is working this one into the onside towards mid-wicket. He comes through for 1. He thinks about the second. The bat drops from Chauvin, and that's all there will be. 1 as the fielder from short mid-wicket comes around and does the fielding.
Yes, good single there, good rotation of strike there by Isaiah. The captain is out there in the middle and he's striking the ball beautifully. Why not give him a chance to have a go?
And the captain will try to have a go. Captain against captain. Mesmin bowls to him. He gives Mesmin the charge. This one is outside. Lifting delivery outside of stump. He looks at the umpire as if to say, can I get a wide, please? And the umpire is not interested. The wicketkeeper Tennessee Hippolyte takes a good take behind there. And the score remains on 77 for 2. Mesmin is back at the top of his mark. He's trying to make amends, trying to restrict them to as little a total as possible. Lifting delivery outside of stump into Tennessee. It's not comfortable for the batsman, nor is it comfortable for the wicket keeper at the back. Tennessee Hippolyte does not collect cleanly, but there's no addition to the score. It remains on 77 for 2. Joseph remains on 19 from 13 balls, and he's partnered by Antoine on 10. The partnership is worth 16 runs. Some 1.3 overs to go. Just 9 balls to go in the innings. 3 to go in Mesmin's over. He bowls to Joseph and short lifting delivery. This time he makes contact out towards long on. He comes for 1. There's a chance there. The throw comes in, a good throw, but not before the young Antoine, who's pretty quick between the wickets, and they come through for 2.
Good aggressive running by Antoine. From the time that ball was struck down to long on, he was pretty much determined to get back to the non-striker's end.
He wanted his captain back on strike, and he knew he wanted to, and they're looking to push as deep as they can, as hard as they can in the last couple of overs. And it's Mesmin. This time there is some bat, and it peels up the outer edge of the bat and goes over the short third-man fielder. Once he beats him there, it's a definite boundary.
Good, clever shot there by Captain Joseph. The very first delivery he faced, he did rehearse when he was looking for the wide from the umpire. Realized that had he stood his ground, he could have just beat the man at short third man. And that he did on this occasion, just playing this one over his head down to the vacant third man boundary for 4.
And that, with that boundary, the score moves on to 83 for 2. Captain Mesmin would like to finish well. 1 ball to go. Mesmin into Captain Joseph, and this time it's out the off edge again, wide outside off, and he's finding the edge, beating the keeper. There's no slip, so this one is going to go into the boundary again. Consecutive boundaries from Joseph.
Yes, good finish to the over by Joseph, but a bit of bowling and field placing by Mesmin. He has decided that he's going to bowl wide outside the stump. Why not have a third man? Because the most obvious shot that the batter is going to play is going to be throwing his bat at the ball, and more so you into the last 2 overs. So every batter is going to throw the kitchen sink at you, and most likely anything that peels off the edge is going to go down to the vacant third man, and there's nobody out there. And as the captain, he should have be cognizant of that.
It's a bit of he missed the trick on this occasion, Captain Mesmin, but it's good for the Leatherbacks as they have pushed on to 87 for 2, and a good start, good first game, good showing with the bat from the Leatherbacks so far. And it's a young Antoine who is diminutive in character but packs a punch. T10 moves in to him, and this one is wide outside off stump. The umpire is going to signal, duly signal a wide, and the extras move on to 16. Extras move on to 16. The score moves on by 1 to 88. And a poor start from T10. He's bowled 1 over. He's gone for 16 so far. And
no ball, apparently.
It was a no ball. He signaled a wide before. He cancelled and he went for the no ball option. Free hit to Antoine.
It was a question of, from what I'm seeing, too many players outside of the circle.
Outside of the circle, so it's... And T10, free hit to Antoine. Antoine is driving this one into the offside. Mesmin comes around the good throw back into the good strong throw from Mesmin. Wideish long off and back to the keeper. Very solid throw, but not before Antoine comes through for 2. The score moves to 90 for 2. Joseph on 29, Antoine moves on strike on 12, and T10, last over of the match, and driving down towards long off again where he finds a Mesmin. They come through for 1. The score moves on by 1 to 91, and Antoine moves on to 13. He is 13 from 9 balls. The captain on strike now, Joseph, is 29 from 16 balls. And some 4 deliveries to go in the innings. Will they be able to get to the 100? Bradley T10 will have different ideas. He moves in, bowls to Joseph, and this one is high. The fielder comes off. Can he make it? He can't. He lands just in front of him. It looks like Ashley. That one was high and was just outside of the 30-yard. Ashley moved from long on, and he couldn't get there in time. The batsmen come through for 2.
Yes, they had the height but not the distance.
T10 into Joseph, and Joseph is driving into the onside, in towards, and they come through for 1, back for the second. Back for the second, very comfortably, driving out towards cow corner, and the fielder comes around and they come through for 2 again. The score moves on to 95 for 2. A good showing by the Leatherbacks. Joseph has moved into the 30s. He's now 33 from 19 balls, and he's partnered by Antoine on 13 from 8. Partnership of 34, very good partnership as T10 bowls into Joseph. This time it's hanging in the air, 2 fielders, but the elevation is there, the distance is not there, and they come through for 2, and 2 more to the total, 97. Joseph moves to 35. 97, Joseph moves to 35. 1 delivery to go. 100 is in sight for the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks.
Yes, they would very much want to get to that psychological landmark of 100. Perhaps they need to get minimum 2. So definitely, SOUFRIERE would have to chase 100.
And they will look for much more than that as Joseph moves away and he slashes wide of Footman. He's going towards the boundary, he's challenging the boundary. Fielder is after him. He can't get there. It's 4 runs. What a finish from Joseph, Captain Joseph. He's moved to 39 and they've gotten to that psychological 100. It's 101 for 2.
Yes, good captain's knock there by Joseph. Really playing very admirable knock out there. Run aggressively, throw the kitchen sink at those he had to, and eventually he got his team over the psychological 100 which they would have wanted. Good knock indeed. Some 39 of just 20 deliveries, and this to put on a valuable 40-run partnership for the 3rd wicket.
Very solid partnership with young Zai Antoine. He's batting undefeated on 13 from 9 with 1-6. A good performance. They run really aggressively between the wicket. And 101 for 2, Greg Wilson. Will it be enough?
Yes, it's a very challenging total, but the Sulphur City Stars have had a chance to play out in the middle, whereas the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks are coming in for the first bowl of the tournament. So one would hope that they could go out there and put some early pressures on the SOUFRIERE Sulphur City Stars batters.
And the likes of Julian Sylvester, he's a second highest run getter in the tournament so far.
Yes, Sylvester may very well have other ideas. He has been prolific second run getter with some 96 runs in the tournament, and Captain Chennai Mesmin again did not have a good day with the ball, so one would hope that he can come good with the bat. Usually he comes good with the bat and not so much with the ball.
And yes, it's like that for him. Once he does well with the bat, you know there's a challenge. There's a challenge with the ball, and today he started sort of poorly with the ball, so one can expect that he might make amends with the bat. Tennessee Hippolyte, the wicket keeper, He bats at the top of the order. He's open with Sylvester too. So do you think that Soufriere has what it takes to get to that 102, which is needed for victory?
Born from the same soil, growing stronger.
Raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
I'll bank for you and me,
taking us forward so proudly. First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far.
The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's the First National way.
Every day we're making better, faster and smarter, convenience like no other.
First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far. We'll go far. For decades every day, it's clear, it's true. First National Bank, we're here for you.
You certainly would need other contribution from other players.
So, first delivery was aborted as he marches back to very confidently. Sylvester and Prosper. Rosemond from the commentary box end made a couple of starts, now finally going in. And that's caught that slip. Big drive, and they certainly happy with the fact that they not only put a great score on the board, they have in fact picked up a wicket, and they have got not a rung on the board, Soufriere.
Yes, Soufriere losing the first wicket. Alex Joseph taking a smart catch at sleep, and he was very happy with the sort of start that they have. 1 ball, 1 wicket.
Yes, what a setback. I mean, they needed at least, to be 20, 30, 40 after 4 overs, give them a foundation to try and get 60 of the last 6. Well, those plans have been shattered. So already the loss of 1 wicket, and you haven't seen a run on the board yet. Prosper and it's Sylvester now together. And a celebration for the fall of the wicket. People running in all sorts of directions.
Yes, Alex Joseph is certainly a character. I could tell you that much, and he would be very happy taking this catch.
So Rosemond with 1 wicket under his belt already, and he's going to bowl to Hippolyte, and he could even, in fact, think of a second slip.
Alex Joseph.
But no second slip yet. Maybe you can ask his captain as he races away from us. Delivery which is outside the line of the off stump, and ill-advised shot. You have to have eyes of a hawk to come in and play that shot straight away. Sharp delivery outside the line of the off stump. So far, so good for Rosemond. And you can see it in the body language. He's very happy with the proceedings as he bowls once more. Delivery which is just tucked out to the onside by Hippolyte. And getting off the dreaded knot, as they say. So finally a run on the board, 1 for 1. 1 for 1. You're still in the first over, being bowled by Rosemond. He's had 3 deliveries, quite happy with the proceedings. The field changes are rung for the left-handed Sylvester. There's a slip, 3rd man, squarish cover, extra cover mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket deep. And that's badly lined down the leg side, not even taken by the keeper. It made a little bit of height. He probably could claim that it was too high for him. And the wide plus the run will just send them on to 3 without loss. Well, they need every single run. It's sacred.
Yes, every run is important, chasing such a total.
So Roseman still only 3 deliveries. It's 3 for 1. As he bowls once more and turns around and looks at the umpire, who signals the wide as if he had gotten it wrong, and then really realized that he was all over the shop. 4 for 1. We had someone 16 extras in the first innings bowl.
Yes, quite a few extras considered in the 3 innings that we have seen so far.
Roseman, 4 for 1 in delivery outside the line of the off stump. Happy to report that it's no white call. Lifting delivery. The batsman looking to fend at it, but not a lot of confidence, not a lot of conviction. And I think Souffriere rocked, really shaken up by the fact that the opposition got 101 for 2. 4 for 1. Roseman once more goes in, and the walls continue. No ball called. So a free hit is in the making. Well, I'm sure that Souffriere will welcome this. Trouble is, Greg, can you take advantage of the no balls with the free hit?
Well, actually, Hippolyte certainly needs to do just that, Reds. Perhaps look for a maximum.
So Roseman, with the no ball bowl, goes in, and that's pulled down towards a wide fine leg. And all they get is, in fact, a single off the free hit. So 5 for 1. Souffriere laboring a bit. They really badly need a boundary. They need to finish with about 9 off the over 10 if they could. 6 for 1, over number 1. Sylvester in strike. Hippolyte is on 2. And Roseman back to his mark. Pretty slow, unathletic approach, and that's the delivery which he was pulling towards square leg, and takes the leading edge and rolls back towards the bowler. The over is completed, and after 1 over, they're chasing 102 for victory. They're 6 for 1.
Yes, good start by the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, although they considered 6 runs red, but 4 of which were extras.
Yes, I mean, they're already short of the pace. They needed to be about 10 off the first over, 12 off the first over, and maintain that. First, you're going to maintain that, chasing 102 for victory. So the bowling is switched to the far end. Conditions are lovely, bright sunshine. We still have a good couple of dozen spectators who have come for their vaccine, and sitting mainly 6 feet apart. You got to be social distancing, even if you have had your vaccine. There are some people here who have had that. Roland Cox crying in pain because the bowler gets up to the mark and just seems to, again, lost his footing, seemed to be on his heels, and he slips right down. So not a good omen, just kicking up the crease area, not happy with it. So a restart just about to happen. Hippolyte waiting for the action to resume. And Antoine, let's see if he'll keep his footing. And he does, but gets a wayward delivery outside the line of the off stump. A wide signal. And not a good start by Antoine. I think he could be shaken up with the fall.
Might very well be, Reds, but we've seen for some reason or the other that bowlers are continuing to bowl wide deliveries.
Yes, I think we'll get Roland Cox to total all the wides we have had. It's a reflection, or maybe the team not being able to practice, or technically the action, or a lot of delivery which is down the leg side, and yes, another wide is repetitive. In fact, if I can say it, it makes commentary just a little boring, because you really want to see ball beating bat or bat hitting, the deliveries at the boundary for four.
Yes, right. Just too many extras. And the viewers, I don't think are enjoying it either.
So once more he comes in, bowls are off stump, pitched right up. Well, he probably should ask himself as he walked back, now why was I successful? Well, I was successful, if he's talking to himself, because I simply got the ball pitched up right in the stump. Of course, the shot didn't say too much about the batsman. So some success after all. 9 for 2, and they gather in a cluster straight away, as if the captain want to hammer home a couple of basic points.
Yes, right. A serious body blow being dealt there to the Super City Sulphur Stars, the prolific scorer Julian Sylvester. He failed to trouble his scorers after just 2 deliveries. So certainly they would be seriously on the back foot.
Well, Mesbin, the captain, marches to the crease, got his helmet on, so he expects fireworks. But after conceding 20-odd runs off his 2 overs, it's time for him to deliver a captain's performance. So the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars are 9 for 2. And we have had just 1.1 overs bowled. So Mesbin taking his time to take his guard. Antoine, who just had a beautiful delivery that brought success, really running in, and looks to clip that away out to the onside. Didn't time it very well. He was looking to play in front. I would think Dongto was mid-off, but takes the signal, so he's off the mark. The total moves up to 10 for 2. 10 for 2. As the big burly Hippolyte settles, takes his guard and waits for Antoine, and looking to pull at that so far away from the line. In fact, it might have been a slightly slow delivery because he went through the motion of trying to pull it so early. So 10 for 2. Soufriere badly needs a productive partnership to get them back on track. But they've got to keep scoring consistently. They're not chasing 80, they're chasing 102 for victory. Antoine bowls, and a chance to really bang that through the covers. So fortunately a full toss when it passed the off stump. And again, a missed opportunity there, Greg.
Yes, perhaps looking to hit this ball too hard rather than looking for timing. And anything that has gone red just past the inner field had a fair chance of getting to the boundary for 4.
Hippolyte has had 7 balls, not being too productive. He's on 2 only. Antoine bowls, plays an ambitious driving shot, ball beats the outside edge and goes through to the keeper. There's a quiet conversation between the slip which is placed, which is good attacking captaincy, but there's so many balls that's beaten the bat. One can understand why a slip is put in. Antoine, last ball of this over. As he comes into Hippolyte, and Hippolyte hits that high. It's going to, with the wind, clear the wide long on, come back for the second run. So finally, we see bat onto ball, but only two. They really required a boundary or two in this over.
Hi, I'm T10 John of the T10 John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
Them joining the Central Castries as the two losing sides today. So, change the bowling from the commentary box end. The captain has decided that he needs to change the bowling.
Caleb Thomas.
Caleb Thomas. So, who didn't do too badly with the bat. Goes in, and that's almost a cross-batted shots as it swatted towards cover. It went very, very quickly, but only a single. It badly needs a couple of boundaries and badly needed very early. 13 for 2. 13 for 2. Mesmin is 2. Hippolyte is striking 4. Slip crouching down now. So that's wide outside the line of the off stump. The story of the day. Already, the wides are mounting up. We had 16 in the innings we saw completed, and the total goes to 14 for 2. Hippolyte, 4. Mesmin, 2. Thomas needs to concentrate and simply bowl stump to stump. On this occasion, he digs it in. And no signal from the umpire, so he thought that it was a pretty sharp effort.
Yes, good effort indeed there by Caleb Thomas. Really digging this one in short there. Ashley Hippolyte, before he completed his shot, read the ball had gone to the keeper, so certainly good sharp delivery there.
Thomas encouraged by that. Ball's outside the line, the off stump, where that's gone? That's gone over long off for 6, laying back. The weight of the body was on the right leg. And I think that is his style, that he's going to stand and deliver. And deliver he did. As he goes to double figures, he's 10. And the total from the Soufriere point of view has gone to 20 for 2.
Yes, good blow struck there by Ashley Hippolyte. Well needed 6.
This delivery was bowled off stump. And Roland Cox obviously liked the delivery. So he's not only scoring, he's giving support to the commentary panel. So bowled off stump. So the success didn't last too long, and all of a sudden Hippolyte goes bowl off stump for 2. The young man has picked up wicket in his first over, and they are 20 for 3.
Yes, good blow there struck by Caleb Thomas, getting the wicket of the experienced Ashley Hippolyte, and Soufriere Sulphur City Stars slipping deeper into the mire. They certainly needed a good 3 or 4 overs to start off with, but what they have done is lose the top order, and more so the likes of Ashley Hippolyte and Sylvester back in the dressing room is going to make things difficult for them to get anywhere close to that 102 that is required.
Well, Thomas will be pretty happy with that scalp. As we see Emmanuel, coming out and taking guard. I wouldn't want to try and pronounce the first name of Emmanuel. I'm told it's difficult.
Extus.
That's hit high, peels off the outer edge and goes towards the boundary. The Fiesman falling all over the place, and eventually managed to gather himself. And all that, it didn't go to the boundary. I thought for a moment that it might have just reached the rope. It did not. So they quickly came back for the second run. And it's 3 for 22. He's in the, last delivery of this over, which has been successful for him. The outside the line of the off stump, looking to square drive that, laying slightly back, makes no contact. So we have had 3 overs completed. And after 3 overs, the Soufriere South Coast Stars are really struggling, have only reached 22 for the loss of 3 wickets.
Yes, right. Just 22 at the same stage. BABONNEAU, they were 31 without loss. So, Soufriere can ill afford to continue losing more wickets. Captain Chennai Mesmin, as we have seen in the past, has done fairly well with the bat than he has done with the ball. So he certainly needs to play a captain knock, perhaps even better than what Siobhan Joseph did for the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, if they are to get anywhere close to that total.
Comment the man, comment the hour. Time for Mesmin to perform. He's 2 and doesn't have to perform because that's a wide outside the off stump. It gives the keeper a great deal of trouble, have to fall to his right. 23. Mesmin really needs to have not just a cameo, he needs to bat deep into the overs. You know that opportunity for a victory is slipping away and slipping away fast. As Antoine goes in once more to Mesmin. Mesmin, looking to pull at that, looking to square leg. It ends up, I think, off the toe of the bat and gets it down towards long on. A very interesting shot. Don't think that Greggy will play too many like that. Mesmin, 3. Emmanuel, 2. And the sun joins us in front of the biggest crowd we've had, thanks to the fact that the vaccines are being given here and people are allowed to stay on once they're 6 feet apart, and of course keep wearing their mask. That's outside the off stump. Maybe trying just to run it down, makes no contact. So Roland Cox recording on dot ball and remains 3 for 24.
Yes, BABONNEAU Leatherbacks continuing to keep things tight. So Antoine in particular, right, is in midst of an impressive spell.
Yes, he began badly by losing his footing and falling down, but didn't hurt himself because he's recovered very well. Antoine bowls, and that's hit. Look at it, hit it square, took the outer parts of the bat and goes high over the third man, and a welcome boundary to Soufriere as they move to 28 for 3. 28 for 3. Emmanuel has gone to 6, and Mesmin, who's not been too productive, only on 3.
Yes, good boundary there welcome boundary for Emmanuel and the City Stars. It doesn't matter how it comes, right? Even if it's off the middle of the bat or off the edge. Every run matters.
Antoine 1 for 7 as the sun comes back in all its glory. And that's a delivery which just pushed out in the offside, it rose quietly down towards long on, and they were able to scamper a second run. Didn't seem to have 2 runs on it, Greg, when he played the shot, but he's gotten to 8, and the total's gotten to 30.
Yes, Captain Siobhan Joseph, Reds coming across from the cover region, scampering across, but really missing this one, and then they were able to come back for a second run.
So Antoine, 1.4 overs, balls, and that is a shot which I think it really got on to him very quickly, but he managed to get into the hook shot and hit that high over square leg for 4. Very, very big welcome boundary, nicely put away eventually, but he did seem to be surprised by the ball coming on to him, but he still went through with the shot. A shot that takes him to 12 is 3 for 34.
Yes, he was scrubbed for room, but the bat speed, that's what really bailed him out.
So, Antoine, 1 for 18, it's being costly, and that's over the head of the mid-on and down to the boundary for 4. So, burst of scoring by Soufriere, and they need to keep going. Mesbin should take heart from that as they chat mid-pitch, and after the 4th over, they have raced away to 38 for 3, and that's the best scoring over they've had.
Yes, good.
Today, I would like to introduce you to the fixed special deposit. What's so special about this deposit? It is all about you, the customer. The interest rates and maturity periods are negotiable. That's how special this is. The special deposit instrument was designed to meet the needs of those who cannot be accommodated within the existing investment options. For more information on our special deposit and other investments, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740 or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
Just by the approach he's taking, he's going to bowl about medium pace, and he'll be bowling to Mesbin. Mesbin, who is taking a little bit of time to start firing for Soufriere. The bowler is very keen to get in. So Mesbin is ready, so is the bowler. Start of the 5th over, and that's almost a tennis shot, swatted down, and went very quickly, like a bullet down towards the long on. Mesbin not putting it away for 4, is on 4. But give the strike team manual, which is probably a good thinking, because he is in good nick so far. So 3 for 39. And that's a scoop. It's going to be successful. I think it's got it. It goes over the boundary. It's touch and go now. It's been signaled a 4. But pitch outside leg. Nice scoop shot. I think first we saw Andy Flower of Zimbabwe playing those shots. And the total goes to 43.
Very interesting shot and very interesting reaction from the bowler, Reds. He actually jumped the batsman. He was pretty pleased with his effort. You don't see that too often.
Charles, to Emmanuel. Emmanuel gets the delivery. No signal. It probably hit the pad. Keeper took it. So 3 for 43. In the last over and a half, they have tried to whip the scoring up.
Yes, from the 3rd over, Reds, they got some 10 and the 4th, 16. So certainly they are making an effort to pick up the rate.
There's a little hope for delivery. That's short, climbing over the shoulder. He went for the hook shot. And the referee now signaling 1 in the over. 3 for 43. Emmanuel, a bowl 20. Mesbin needs to contribute when he gets to strike. The run rate is 9.21. The required rate is over 11. And this ball is pushed out to the offside. And they scamper a single. What we've got, we have got 1 delivery left. Would Melbourne get the ball away? Would he look to take the strike. Right now, maybe it will be better from the Soufriere point of view. Emmanuel stays on strike. And Charles is back. None for 6 or 5. And that is a typical shot from Mesmin. A shot of his own. That's his second swat shot down towards the long off. They take a single. The over is completed. Time for a change of voice. So Slivers Jules will come in. Will he take Soufriere home for victory? Or it will be BABONNEAU who will be celebrating at the end. 45 for 3 or 5 more from Greg.
Yes, the innings of BABONNEAU, Soufriere Stars Clivers. I'm just looking at the comparison, and they seem to be following a similar pattern. Just that one team have lost more wickets in the 4th over 48 for 3, 48 for 1, and the 5th over 45 for 1, 45 for 3. So in terms of runs, they are neck and neck at the same stage.
Certainly, and the wickets column is what should be the worry for the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars. And Mesmin is, this one is down the leg side. Mesmin is playing sort of a sweep shot and short fine leg inside the 30-yard circle with stop that one. A wild throw back, good backing up from Antoine, is it? It's, yes, Antoine. And no damage done to the scoring. The score remains on 45 for 3. And it's Joseph to Mesmin. And this time the off stump has been rocked back. A good ball there. Poor shot. Mesmin never looked the part. And a very poor shot on this occasion from Captain Chennai Mesmin.
Yes, captain to captain, and Siobhan Joseph certainly has gotten the better of Mesmin. Mesmin looking to play across the line of this one and was comprehensively bowled. The more favorable shot would have been to look to hit straight down the track, and that he did not do. And Captain Siobhan is very elated at seeing the back of Captain Chennai Mesmin.
Chennai Mesmin on during this game has not timed it very well. He thwarted a couple down to long off and coming through for the single, but he did not seem to get it right today. And Siobhan Joseph, is opposing counterpart, got it right and get that ball just to deviate in towards the right hander and pegging back the off stump in the process.
Yes, Captain Siobhan will be pleased with the effort, certainly making things more and more difficult. The rate right now has shot up to 12.21, and the current rate is 8. So certainly, Emmanuel, a lot would depend on the sort of knock Emmanuel continues to have out there, Clivers.
And he's joined by Bradley Tisson, and Bradley Tisson, his reputation precedes him. He is very capable, and he would want to stay on with Ecstasy Manuel and to see how close to that target they'll get. And this one is heaved towards the backward square. The square leg fielder comes around. The fine leg is giving chase as well. It's stopped just inside the boundary by Javon Charles. And they come through for the second. They complete 2 runs, pushing the score to 47 for 4. 4 wickets down. That's a troubling thing for the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, Greg Wilson.
Yes, the wicket column, this is what is troubling.
And this time, he picked him off the pads out towards corner over the boundary, and that is 6. What a shot, what timing from Bradley Tisson. This Captain Siobhan was straying into the pads, and Bradley Tisson sort of a short arm jab and depositing it over the rope.
Yes, that was almost a la Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Just whipped this one off the pads and went all the way over the boundary rope for 6.
Bradley Tisson having other ideas. Captain Siobhan having seen the back of Mesmin looking to make inroads, but Tisson on this occasion just pushing it out towards mid wicket and come through for 1. A good single taken there and pushing the score now to 54 for 4. Tisson has moved very quickly to a 9 from 3 balls. Extus Emmanuel is batting on 21 from 11 balls, hitting some 4-4s. So they need to stay together, this pair, for the Sulphur City Stars.
Yes, a lot would ride on this sort of partnership these two could put together. And if they could bat perhaps another 3 or more overs, they perhaps would get close to the required score.
It's Joseph, 1 wicket for 9 so far, 1 ball to go. And giving himself room is Extus Emmanuel. What a shot! Extus Emmanuel giving himself room outside leg stump to free his arms. And Joseph served him a shortish delivery outside off, and Extus Emmanuel helped himself to 4 runs. Describe that shot, Greg Wilson.
My goodness. Really, that was a telegraphic shot. It's almost as if the two of them planned this, really backing away and Siobhan instead of...
I grew up very proud of the lighthouse. Our teacher, Mr. Kenneth, would take us there every year on field trips, explaining to us that we boast the 2nd highest lighthouse in the world. But for me, it is the breathtaking view overlooking the southern part of the island. Mullah Sheikh, that's my view fort.
This stage, the Sulphur City Stars, they have gone 8 runs better than BABONNEAU Leatherbacks. 50, and now they are 58.
And Siobhan to continue to T10. T10 is clobbering this one down towards mid-on and come through for a single, pushing the score to 59 for 4. 59 for 4. T10 is batting on a 10. Extus Emmanuel on 25. The partnership is 14. Charles moves into Extus, and Extus is driving beautifully on this occasion out towards long off and come through for 1. Extus looks the part, Greg Wilson.
Very, very impressive with the young one this afternoon. This is the best we have seen of him in the tournament, and he's like, come up the hour, come up the man.
T-Saw this time to face up to Charles. And T-Saw is driving. It's in the air. It's a chance and taken. Alvin Laffey out there at long off. Runs around. It was in the air. And taken. T-Saw would be better served just giving the single to Extus Emmanuel, who is timing it exquisitely, but he's looking to go over the top. Alvin Laffey making no mistake and taking a good catch in the end.
Yes, good running catch there by the veteran Alvin Laffey. I think the option was a good option, just that there was not enough bottom hand into it. The elevation really was not there. It was too flat to give Alvin a chance to get around, but they certainly need to keep on striking the ball. Some 6 overs have gone, with 4 overs remaining. The batters come in, they need to give the support to Emmanuel, but Emmanuel cannot do it alone, Clive, as he does need the support at the other end. And at this point in time, they have to go for broke.
It's a do or die, as they would say. It's do or die for the Sulphur City Stars. And Hippolyte comes in. Is it Tennessee Hippolyte?
Yeah.
Tennessee, the wicketkeeper, Tennessee Hippolyte. He comes in to join Extus Emmanuel. And the two would need to stay together. Sulphur City Stars had just gone ahead, but with that wicket, I'm sure the Leatherbacks would have pulled it back. And this time it's into the puzzle, hitting towards square. They come through for 1. The second run is on, and they come through very comfortably for the second run. And the score moves on by 2 to 60. 60 for 5. Hippolyte has moved to 2. He's off the mark with 2. And Emmanuel is batting on 26 from 13. Javon Charles will continue to Hippolyte. And this time he wraps him on the pad, and there's a loud appeal, and the slow finger of Ashby, umpire Allen Ashby, takes a mighty long time to get that finger raised. And The keeper, the batsman might have been taking a guard for the next delivery before umpire Ashby raises that finger. Takes a mighty long time, Alan Ashby.
Yes, Tennessee Hippolyte had already gone past halfway, wicket running down to the non-striker's end when he saw the dreaded finger of umpire Ashby. But another timely blow again there, struck there by the bowler, seeing the back of Tennessee Hippolyte. So the woes continue for the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, losing their 6th wicket.
Get more with our Massey card. One card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massey stores and Massey card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massey stores or www.masseycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massey card can bring.
If you ask me, and it's Monroe's, Dalius Monroe's to join Extus Emmanuel. Dalius Monroe's would do well to just keep Extus Emmanuel company. He's seen the ball as big as a breadfruit, as they say in cricket. So Monroe's would do well to stay with him, but Javon Charles would have other ideas. He's in a good spell, and Monroe's is driving towards Alvin Lafay, who comes off the boundary at a long off. Not before Monroe's gets off the mark. He gets off, as Reds would say, the dreaded knot, and he moves to 1. The score moves on by 1 to 63 for 6. 6 wickets down after 7 overs. How does it look for the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, Greg Wilson?
Well, in terms of runs, they are ahead of the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks at the very same stage by just 2 runs. But in terms of wickets, they have lost 4 wickets more than the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks. But this is going to be a big ask. If you look at the Worms there, they are actually ahead of BABONNEAU at that very same stage. Or the Worms that's pretty even. But it's going to take a lot of getting that 102, but a lot would ride on the continuous form of Emmanuel. He certainly is playing the inning of his life, or the inning of the tournament from what we have seen so far.
And he's batting on 26, and he will be facing up to Joseph? Joseph. Joseph. And this one is high in the air. The 2 fielders converge, one settles under it, and he drops it, and they come through for the second run. It's direct hit. That is gone. What a bit of fielding. Is it Zai Antoine? The celebration is on. What a bit of fielding there. They dropped it, but good awareness from the Leatherbacks. Very, very good awareness. It's Quinn Henry. And that's the end of Extus Emmanuel.
Yes, drop catch there by Alex Joseph coming in
Quinn
there.
Emmanuel picking up and direct hit. This is excellent cricket.
Yeah, so everything is going the way of the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, even after
Emmanuel
dropping, giving Emmanuel a life. Being dropped there by Alex Joseph. Quinn had the presence of mind to pick up the ball and fire at the stump and found the batsman well short of his ground. So certainly the Leatherbacks are matching closer to their first victory in the tournament.
And with the exit...
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
The moment is back in the pavilion, that is in their favor.
And this time, Captain Joseph strays down the leg side and through to wicketkeeper Abraham. And the umpire signals a wide, and it's rightfully so. 1 more to the total, 64 for 7. And Dalius Monroe's on strike. He's batting on 2, and this time he's driving. There's a an appeal, and he's giving him what a nonchalant way to get out. Darius Monroe's just looking to work this one and missing the ball completely. It looked very, very full. Monroe's out of sorts, missing the ball completely and gifting another wicket to Siobhan Joseph. This one was pretty adjacent. Joseph just asking, picking up the ball and rolling to the wicketkeeper. One more back in the hut. 65 for 8, Greg Wilson.
Yes, it's really falling very quickly around the Super Sulphur City Stars. For a moment, it looked promising, but they were losing wickets at a regular interval, and certainly they were not able to string a decent partnership or two, and they were always under pressure. Although for a moment, Citus Emmanuel did excite the crowd. That's wrong. He did threaten perhaps to take the game away, but the Leatherbacks have stuck to the guns, and they have bowled sort of disciplined line, and they have gotten the sort of result that is required to pull off a victory.
And young Kevin Gassi comes in to replace Monroe's. Kevin Gassi, the sun has left us momentarily. There seems to be a little bit of a cloud cover now as Siobhan Joseph bowls to left-handed Gassi, and Gassi is going over extra cover, doesn't reach, just goes out past the 50-yard circle, and the fielder comes up the boundary. They come through for one. The score moves on by 1 to 66. 8 wickets down, and Soufriere Sulphur City Stars, they're in a spot of border at the minute, Greg Wilson.
Yes, they're certainly in a spot of border, and you would need a bit of heroics if they are to come out of this. Some 46 needed of 14 legal deliveries.
And Jovan Charles will try to do something about it as he faces Joseph, a delivery that is kind of straight into him, but he plays it into the onside just towards the square leg and comes through for 1. The score moves on by 1 to 67. 67 for 8. And Captain Joseph, has bowled 1.4 overs, 2 for 17. He's taken some critical wickets, but this over has also seen the run out of Ecstasy Manuel as Joseph bowls to Gassi. Gassi, a swing and a miss through to wicketkeeper Abraham, and the score remains 67 for 8.
Yes, at this point, Gassi certainly would have to swing for the heels and hope that he can connect.
He'll have to keep his head steady as well, keep his eye on it, as they say, and look to golf club it. Joseph into Gassi. This one is a wide outside off and duly signaled by the umpire. And one more to the total, 68. But we're seeing the hopes of a victory for Sulphur City Stars diminishing with every passing moment as Gassi is batting on 1 from 1. Jovan Charles on 1 from 1. And Siobhan, this time Gassi connects it long, high, handsome, out towards Players Pavilion. And that is 6 from young Kevin Gassi. Young man packing a big punch.
Yes, Gassi. Siobhan Joseph on this occasion just getting right into the hitting zone of young Gassi and making good contact and hitting this one high and long over the long off boundary for a welcome 6, which moves them up to 74. And at the same stage, the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, they were 76 for 2. So in terms of the scoring, it's almost neck and neck, but the more crucial factor is the wicket column. They have lost 8 wickets, 6 more than BABONNEAU.
The wickets column is a worrying factor for the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars as we see the reintroduction of Caleb Thomas. We saw his heroics earlier with the bat, and he's bowled 1 over so far, 1 wicket for 10. He's bowling the 9th over, and he will be bowling to Jovan Charles, and this time is high, very high in the elevation. Does it have the distance? It doesn't, and it falls just inside. The fielder makes a mess of it. It fell just inside, and 4 runs, rolls over the boundary rope, the fielder making a complete mess. The elevation was there, but the distance was not there on this occasion, Greg Wilson.
Yes, a terrible miss there by Cauldron on the boundary. Really got in, misjudged, and he had to backpedal, and a terrible miss there by him.
Caleb Thomas to continue again. It's Charles offering outside of stump but not making contact, and the score remains on 78. And Stuart Cauldron, is it?
Yeah.
Stuart Cauldron had to have been back on the rope, but he was a couple of yards in and had to backpedal. And had he been back on the rope, he would have taken an easy catch, but he had to backpedal and, of course, present a little bit higher difficulty and that ball going over. But this time around, Caleb Thomas is on target, and Jovan Charles is unable to get him away, and the score remains on 78-8. We've had 8.3 overs gone, a further 24 runs needed from 9 balls, a very big ask as Thomas moves away from us and into Charles. Charles is offering a big heave outside of stump, but that ball was through to the wicketkeeper. No damage done, no contact made. The score remains on 78-8. Every dot delivery is taking the chances of the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars away with it.
Yes, good bowling there by Caleb Thomas, just keeping it just outside your stump, outside of the reach of the batsman.
Thomas, this time, he steps out towards the ball in the offside. Jovan Charles is taking a big step out towards the offside, leaving the stumps exposed, but can't make any contact still. The score remains on 78-8. Charles is trying all sorts of heroics, but it's not been successful. Caleb Thomas is keeping his cool and bowling a good tight line and length outside of stump and denying Charles any opportunity to take him to the boundary. One delivery left to go in this over. Thomas bowls to Charles, the same channel outside of that uncomfortable length, and it goes through to wicketkeeper Abraham, and the score remains on 78-8. Charles remains on 5, Gassi is on 7, and the blue worm is taking a dip. The worm of the Soufriere Sulphur City Stars is taking a dip. Some 24 runs required from 6 balls.
Yes, not impossible, but highly improbable.
That is absolutely correct.
Certainly good last over there ball by Joseph.
And
just 4 runs from the over. Good 9th over. Good tight spell. Exactly what the captain would have required from him to really come and close the innings there, and that he was able to do admirably.
Yes, that is correct as well. And Caleb Thomas, he came through with the bat and now coming through with the ball, bowling 2 overs, 1 for 14 for his team. Caleb Thomas has been on target. He opened the innings and gave them good impetus at the top of the innings, and now he's come back and bowled a 9th over, a very special 9th over from a very special player for the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, and we're seeing Roseman being reintroduced for the 10th over, last 6 balls, a very good delivery outside of stump. Gassi offering him, attempting to take him over the onside, missing the ball completely, but the wicketkeeper did not collect cleanly on that occasion, and they come through for 1 bite.
Yes, terrible miss there by the keeper, but it may be a good single to have, considering the fact that the previous over, Charles was missing so many deliveries.
Good in terms of the record for BABONNEAU, and this time Charles is backing away outside of stump, lifting delivery, and he's continuing where he left off in the previous over from Caleb Thomas. Roseman's doing well to give him that same length that Caleb Thomas gave him, and he's missing the ball now. 23 needed from just 4 balls. They need to go to over the boundary 4 times if they are to get 4 legal deliveries, if they are to get 23 from it.
Yes, certainly.
1 for 6. Roseman is in the middle of a very, very special spell from this young man. First game of the match of the tournament for him. Rosemont bowls to, and he's given the charge. This one is traveling through extra cover. What a shot, what timing from Charles on this occasion.
Yes, give him the charge. The ball was outside the as they would say, really threw the kitchen sink at it. And this ball just went like a trace bullet past the captain, Siobhan Charles, in the cover area, down to the boundary for 4. Never had a chance in stopping this one.
And batsman Jovan Charles is teeing off now. Is it too little, too late? Still 19 from 3 balls. Can he take him over? And this time he's pulling, does not make good contact. He's trying a second run and he slips. We've seen a number of cricketers slip today. We've seen the bowlers do it. We've seen the batsmen do it. We've seen them slip in the middle of the wicket, off the square. What is going on, Greg Wilson?
I suspect it's not, they do not have the proper foot gear. Probably have spikes or no spikes at all. But it cannot be because of a wet outfield, because we've had no rain for today. And it's too late to have the due effect.
Just 2 deliveries to go, some 18 runs to get. Almost impossible now. Gassi cannot get the ball off the square. They come through for 1 by, is it? Was there contact? No signal from the umpire. There was some contact. Might have come off the glove. And 1 run to the total. 85 for 8. 17 needed from 1 delivery. Highly improbable. Barring wides, barring some extras, it's almost impossible, Greg Wilson.
Yes, BABONNEAU Leatherback should have this one in the bags.
Rosemont to Charles, final delivery. Short delivery, lifting delivery, and wide called. Extras come to the party again. This is the 13th extra. Rosemont 1.5 overs, 1 for 13 extras coming to the party, but not as it featured in the innings of the BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, but still quite a number of extras. 13 so far. And Rosemont finals, what's supposed to be the final delivery is pulled towards the square leg boundary. It's challenging the boundary, goes over the boundary now. They finish with a 4, but it's way short of the total. They will not. That victory goes to BABONNEAU Leatherbacks. 90 for 8. Soufriere Sulphur City Stars being handed another defeat in the tournament. We saw them getting 1 defeat in the preliminary, the qualifying rounds, and the first defeat in the main draw.
Yes, good victory there by BABONNEAU Leatherbacks. They really played well with the bats when they batted. Now with the ball, they were clinical, I felt. Good out cricket. The fielding was good. Marked improvement on what we saw last year. And the 2 teams last year who started with a loss, this year they've started with a win. That is Vieux-Port North and the BABONNEAU Leatherback. So it augurs well for the tournament for this year.
It goes to show that there was some sort of preparation going into it. BABONNEAU Leatherbacks, you see them, they were pretty good in the field. Having dropped some 11 catches in 1 game last year, they've redeemed themselves coming through. They were very good in the field. They took their chances. They had some runouts going their way. The bowling was on target. But when you look at the start that Soufriere Sulphur City Stars had, they came very close. Judging by the start they had, you think that they did well in the middle, and they came relatively close as well.
Yes, they started very slow. The first over, 6 came off the first over, 6 off the second, 10 off the third, and by the 4th over they were level peg, 38. Same score with BABONNEAU. At the 5th over stage, the halfway mark, they were 45, and they were ahead by the 6th over by 8 runs. But the most important aspect was that they were losing too many wickets.
Yes, and we will go on to our on-field crew to hear from the captains on what transpired today.
When you're ready. Go. Shania, the Sulphur Stars put on a fight towards the end?
Yeah, we didn't put in a fight, but not enough at the end, not enough effort from the guys. So we fell short today.
Where did you want to see the fight really intensify?
I mean, it started from the fielding aspect. Our aim was to restrict them to a lower total than that, which we didn't manage to do. And then the batters didn't step up today at all, as you could see. And the pitch is playing quite different from our previous games. So it's just a matter of adjusting and staying positive moving forward into the tournament.
How different is the pitch this time?
I mean, the first pitch the ball was coming up more, playing more, you could have played through the line. This one is a tad bit up and down, so you have to be more mindful and more aware of the balls before you could hit. So like I say, it's just about applying ourselves and moving on to the next round and playing good cricket.
Was the game taken away from you when you saw the score going up?
I mean, no, we back ourselves as batters because we've been batting good in the tournament, and then like I say, the batters fell short from the top. Our openers didn't deliver, so it was left to the rest of the batters, and we still didn't pull through. So it was just an overall poor performance.
You said the pitch was different. What was different about it?
Like I said earlier on, our previous games, the first two games we played, the pitch was playing much better. The ball came through, you could have hit through the line, but that one you have to watch and think like the ball is not coming through. Some stay down, some will come up. It was just a little bit more difficult to bat on.
So that means in the future we'll be a little more wary of the pitch conditions and so on.
I mean, definitely. Now that we have a taste of it, we will adjust and come back stronger next game.
All right, good luck, all the best.
All right, cheers, thanks.
Siobhan, you came and you made a serious statement?
Yes, we did. That's what we intended to do today.
Talk to us about the approach when you went to bat.
Well, as I first said, they put us into bat and the aim was to get over 100, 90 to 100, and we did that. And from then on, we backed ourselves to go in and bowl, put the ball in the right area and defend the total. We scored 100, but we decided we went out there thinking that we have only 80 to defend, and that we played according to that.
Shania said the pitch was surprised them a little bit. They had played on it earlier. It offered different conditions today, but I guess for your first time, you were able to just adjust to it.
Well, as our coach have been telling us in training, you can't play the pitch or whatever is put in front of you. You have to go out and make the best of it. It's our first time playing here, so we just went out and played according to what ball was bowled to us, and we did the best that we could, and we came out victorious.
Talk to us about the batters who gave you that huge advantage.
Well, we had a good start. Not both batsmen were going fluently, just one. But we bat deep with all of our all-rounders, and we backed ourselves to just put a total on the board.
You did make a contribution yourself?
Yes, I'm not sure what I got, but I think I did well enough.
So now that you've had this experience and you're obviously getting ready for the other matches, what is going to be your approach?
Well, it's just build on from today. If we did have nerves coming into today's game, it should be out of the way, and we should just continue to perform better and build on today's performance.
How much of a confidence booster is a big win for your first appearance?
Definitely, because I don't want to dwell too much on what happened last year, but last year we struggled to get off the mark, and to do it in our first game, that's just an excellent start, and it should definitely be a confidence booster for myself, the coaching staff, and everybody who supports BABONNEAU.
What happened between last year and this year?
Well, the team is 1 year older. We didn't make too many changes from the team last year, so a bit more experience in the team, so you should see a better overall performance from.
And you had no marquee players, but you delivered today.
Well, we don't play players on names, we just back our ability, and like I said, the BABONNEAU team, we're full of ability throughout the squad.
So the Leatherbacks have announced themselves. Congratulations, good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you heard it from the two captains, you heard it from the Siobhan Joseph of the Leatherbacks as well as Shania Mesmin. So it's continue doing what you're doing from one captain and back to the drawing board for another captain. And we just like to remind you that the Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast for 2021 was brought to you with the kind compliments of our title sponsor Dream 11, Calabash TV and All Biz Media, Flow, Made in Paradise, Scott Sports and Awards, the Trophy Center, Blue Waters, Full 100, First National Bank, Kendall M. Gill Chambers. And just to go over a good day today, 2 good games today, and we're looking forward to tomorrow, Greg Wilson. We have 2 big games tomorrow as well. Undefeated Meekwood Eagles will be taking on the Mabuya Valley Constrictors in the first game, that's game number 11. And game number 12 will see the Monrepo Stars for the first time around taking on the Grizzly, coming off a good victory in the last game they played.
Yeah, 2 good games on for tomorrow, but the second one in particular I'm looking forward to because Monrepo, they were the ones who first defeated Grizzly when Grizzly seemed unbeaten, and certainly Grizzly would want to come back with a vengeance. So I'm really looking forward to this game in particular.
And Monrepo, of course, they were the losing finalists last year. So a big game. The second game is a big game, but not to count out Mabuya Valley Constrictors and the Mikwood Eagles. So 2 big games tomorrow as the tournament is beginning to warm up, and we're seeing teams getting closer to the 100 score and getting even over the 100 score, and a lot is happening. So we have a lot coming your way in the Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast for 2021. We invite you to watch this evening at 8:30 on Calabash TV. You will be seeing the replays of today's game, and we invite you, of course, to join us again tomorrow right here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground for 2 big games in the 2021 Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast. So we're signing off here for our producers and the entire commentary team. I'd like to say goodbye and see you tomorrow. Same place, same time.